What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, Wealth Hacker Labs. I am your gracious host, Jeff Rose. This is the channel dedicated to teaching you new ways to grow wealth that is not taught to you in schools or by your parents. And we finally have an agreement. It has finally passed. The economic stimulus package that many of y'all have been waiting for. I've been waiting just to find out, when is this thing gonna pass? What's it gonna look like? Well, it finally did. Oh! So in total, this package is $2 trillion, which basically just means that the government is just going to keep on printing more money, making it rain. That's what the government does, right? But either way, I know that Americans are in need. I've got money going everywhere, but I know you are watching this because you want to know who is going to get a check, how much are you going to get, and when is it going to come? So let's go ahead and jump the computer and answer those questions right now. As we can see, so the time this recording, just kind of put in perspective, it is 11:56 a.m. on Thursday. So the market has been open for a few hours. Right now, Dow Jones is sitting at 22,295. We were up 1,000 points. I believe this is the third day in a row we've seen the market gain. So this is fun. This is exciting. This is good. And if you do a quick search on stimulus checks, I mean, you see articles everywhere. Everybody's reporting on it. But so how much is it exactly? Well, we are going back to the original amount. It is $1,200. That is how much you are getting. There is some income restrictions, which we'll talk about. We'll also address a few other questions as far as with children, if your dependents are getting any money, and also if you are on Social Security, unemployment, all that good stuff. All right, but I'm definitely going to drop this link in the show notes. So if you are curious if you qualify, head on over to the Washington Post because they have put together a super simple calculator that shows how much you get if you qualify, and just basically the key questions that you have to answer. So here, pretty simple. Calculate your stimulus payment. Have you filed your 2019 taxes yet? Yes or no? What was your filing status in 2019? What was your income in 2019? And then how many children do you have? So if you file taxes, let's say you are married and combined you made $90,000 and you have two children, you are getting $3,400 as part of the package. So if you don't know, if you qualify, go here, do this calculator, you'll know here in an instant. All right, but the one thing I do want to address real quick, because we'll talk about the limits, the income restrictions, all that good stuff, but let's just go ahead and answer the question, when are you going to get the check? And the answer is nobody knows. They were really pushing this to be by beginning of April, but everyone now is saying like that is most likely is not going to happen. And even based off previous stimulus packages, it took a few weeks for it to come out, actually almost a month. So as the title on this CNN article says, don't expect the money right away. So if you are going out to your mailbox every day and waiting for that, if you're logging onto your bank app and seeing if the money's been deposited, well, yeah, don't get too excited on that. All right, so let's go ahead and answer some of the questions. And this Forbes article, which I'll also add to the show notes, really dives down into how does it all work. All right, so as I've already said, you are getting $1,200 per individual, $2,400 if you are married, filing jointly. Also, an additional $500 for each child. So what are the income restrictions? So basically, if you are making up to $75,000, you'll get the full amount. That's if you're just single. If you are married filing joint, it's up to $150,000. They also have the head of household number there, which is $112,500. And then after that, if you make more than that, then it begins to phase out, which means that you start to earn less. So in this example here, it's saying that in this case, for every $100 of income above those thresholds, so $100 over and above the $75,000, your check would drop by $5. And it gives a nice little easy example there to how to figure that out. So once again, if you, for every $100 that you make over those phase out limits, whether you are married or single, then your check will drop $5. So that's how that works. And once again, you go back to that Washington Post calculator, it will show you what that looks like. The big question on with children was that initially there was no limit on how many kids you could claim. Then with the Democrats and the Pelosi bill that came out, I call it the Pelosi bill, that wasn't really her bill, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, they had cut it off at 3 kids. Right now, there is no limit on how many children that qualify. And if your children qualifies for the child tax credit, which I can actually drop a link to my blog, A Financial Sense, that you can check out. If you're not really familiar with the tax credit, that's how you know if you get that $500. So here's another big question. Will I need a social security number to get a check? And the answer is yes. Yes, you do. Alternative would be an adoption taxpayer ID number. Same thing for spouses and kids. So you do need a social security number. So we're talking about that. But basically, it's all based off of your 2019 return, which I know most people may have not completed yet, especially with them extending the tax deadline. So also it's going to be your most recently filed tax return. So that would be, if it's not 2019, then it would be 2018. If you haven't filed your taxes yet in 2018 and 2019, then you're not getting a check. So I don't know what you're waiting on, get it done. If you want to get a check, get it done. Another common question that I've been getting, I feel like I'm putting back my financial planner hat here, but is with people that are retired or on Social Security. Are retired folks eligible? The answer is yes, you are. And also too, if you are on government benefits with no income, it says yes. I'm going to read this verbatim. I'll enlarge it so you can read it. Yes, eligible folks include those with no income as well as those whose income comes entirely from non-taxable means tested benefit programs such as Social Security. So yes, if you are on Social Security, if you're on any sort of government program, you do qualify. And that's it. It's here. It's finally here. It's coming. We don't know when it's coming. Hopefully soon. Hopefully sometime in April. But we don't know exactly when that date is. But we do know those amounts. And once again, I'm gonna go ahead and back to this nice little handy dandy calculator because it's pretty simple. If you want to know how much you're going to get, input your information here, and then boom, you will know the answer. All right, y'all. Hope this was helpful, informational. Once again, please subscribe if you haven't. Got more videos coming. Want to make sure I'm helping you make more, protect wealth, and just really enjoy life right now, because we all need to enjoy some life. That's why I've got my government money gun here, because you know what? Some of you might not think this is funny. I personally think it's hilarious, and I'm just trying to find some joy in the world. So this is Jeff Rose passing some joy to you, reminding you that it's your money, it's your life, and only you can make it awesome. So might as well, if you have some money, make it awesome. Peace, y'all. Uh-oh, government just ran out. We ran out of money, government. That sounds about right. Peace.